Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Apes Escape. I'm your host, Chase.
This is Big Onion.
Or Ape and Big Onion. In today's episode, we're going back to the weird news, and we're going to talk about the Yuba County 5. And I don't know if you have anything else for us today, but I have some weird, funny stuff, and then the Yuba County 5.
I've just got 3 news articles from this past week that are just pretty weird.
Okay. Do you want me to start with mine, or do you want to start with yours?
We do a little back and forth. I'll do one,
Okay.
you do one. How's that?
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. I haven't read any of these. I'm just going off the headline. We'll follow along. All right, this one, the headline is "Woman who died at slapping therapy retreat viewed healer as sent by God."
Okay.
So this lady, 71 years old, stopped taking insulin for diabetes at a Wiltshire workshop, had praised Hongqi Xiao. Guessing that's the guy. Woman with diabetes who died after stopping her insulin while taking part in a 4-day slapping therapy workshop regarded the person who ran the retreat as a messenger sent by God. All right.
Xiao.
I don't even know what slap therapy is.
That's what the hell is slap therapy.
Zhao allegedly congratulated her when she announced she had stopped taking insulin at the start of the 4-day workshop. She fell seriously ill because she had not taken her insulin, told other participants that she was experiencing the darkness before dawn breaks, and did not call for medical help. Zhao is 61 of Cloudbreak, California, denies the manslaughter by gross negligence. It's pretty strange.
I want to know what the hell slap therapy is.
I got no clue. I don't know how to show you the picture, but the drawing is pretty funny of the guy, just him in court with headphones on.
Oh.
She was one of 30 people who attended the workshop run by Master Xiao, a champion of Paida Lajin therapy, in which patients are slapped or slap themselves repeatedly. All right.
All right.
Attended the workshop in Bulgaria, though she became unwell there, left testimonials on his website in which said he was definitely a messenger sent by God, and that he was starting a revolution to put the power back in the hands of the people to cure themselves and to change the whole system of healthcare.
Gosh damn.
She added, "I admire you and thank you from the bottom of my heart." Well, no heart, no more.
Yeah, I still want to find out what slap therapy is. I'll do a little bit of Googling real quick.
Sounds like they just slap each other and slap themselves from the article.
It says this is said to be a vigorous version of toina, or however you say it, a form of massage in TCM that applies pressure to acupoints to unblock meridians and promote QI, or energy and circulation. Apparently, it's a very popular thing.
You just get the circulation to the face.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Lady was convinced to stop taking her insulin and died. That's about it.
All right. Interesting. Um, so the story that I got it off of UPI.com, and the title of it, my title of it is "Hello Earthlings," but the title for them is "Bizarre UFO Shaped Vehicle Stopped by Police in Oklahoma, Missouri." Um, it says July 3rd, an Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper had an otherworldly encounter when he pulled over an unusual UFO shaped vehicle on the highway. The OHP said on social media that Trooper Ryan Van Vleck stopped the driving saucer on the Turner Turnpike due to an obstructed tag. The two occupants of the unusual vehicle explained they were en route to the annual UFO festival in Roswell, New Mexico. Van Vleck decided not to issue a citation and instead let the driver and passenger go with a warning after posing for a couple photos. And the cop,
What?
the cop quoted, "It's not every day you pull over a UFO."
What, they were dressed like aliens?
They, I have the pictures. I could show you. It's like two women, and they're wearing like the alien glasses. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the picture is the cop taking a selfie, and there's the driver doing this in the background.
Oh my gosh.
Let me see if I
Where
can.
were you said they were going to a UFO convention?
Yes, in Roswell, New Mexico.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. It's
Yeah,
like Oklahoma is kind of weird if they were having the convention there.
yeah. So here's the picture of the cop in the.
What is that?
Yep,
Is that
there
street
she'd
legal?
be. I have no idea. Look at that thing.
I know they were cooking inside of that thing.
It reminds me of the Krabby Patty car from SpongeBob movie.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Look at those glasses.
I know it's got to be like 100 degrees inside that thing.
Oh, it's got to be cooking. We got some more pictures here. Oh,
What
what
in
we
the
got?
world?
We got it on Facebook. How fast does that thing go? That's what I want to know.
The speed limit.
That that's what I want to understand. That thing does not look like it can go fast.
The speed of light.
But that's one of the stories I found for today.
Just a frying pan on wheels.
God bless America.
Uh, you ready for me to do another one?
Yeah.
All right. Uh, this one's a little strange. Just reading the headline. I'll show you the picture too, if I can share my screen with you. A
Yeah.
teen tech whiz nicknamed God's Influencer will become the first millennial saint. All right.
Okay.
This is him. they, got, they got him. This is inside the Catholic Church.
It's Crypto Tech Man.
Yeah. Uh,
Praise be to him.
teenage, yeah, teenage computer whiz who used the early aughts internet to spread awareness of the Catholic faith will become the church's first millennial saint. Uh, oh, I guess he's dead. He died, not funny, but died of leukemia, age 15 in 2006, and is referred to as God's influencer and the patron saint of the internet for his work of cataloging Eucharistic miracles around the world. And soon it will be official. All right.
So he died in
Uh,
2006?
I guess so. Yeah, died 2006. He was 15. Um, Pope Francis and a group of cardinals approved for canonization at a meeting at the Vatican on Monday. It looks like this was recent. Yeah, this was on the first.
What the hell?
Uh, he was a devout Catholic who taught himself programming from an early age and created websites with a spiritual focus, including his widely praised database of miracles. He's credited with helping homeless people and defending victims of bullying during his lifetime, and having a hand in 2 healing miracles after his death.
Huh?
Uh, don't know how a programmer was able to accomplish that.
AI.
But anyway,
He didn't die.
uh,
His name is Crypto Tech Man.
it says there's 3 steps becoming a saint in the Catholic Church. Let me look at this. Stage 1: examining the life of a candidate for sainthood. Eparchal level: 5 years must pass from the time of the candidate's death before a cause may begin. Phase 2 is congregation for the causes of the saints. Uh, Beatification: a miracle attributed to his intercession, verified after his death, is necessary. All right. And then stage 3 is canonization. Another miracle is needed for both blessed martyrs and blesseds who live a virtuous life. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of it. It says here he was a gamer. I don't know how. I don't see the miracles listed.
We'll believe him.
I don't know. 15-year-old programmer is now a saint.
Alrighty then. Interesting. So, to preface you on this next news article, because it's going to confuse you if I just tell you, and you're like, what the hell is wrong with people? I was on TikTok, and there was this girl who was in, I want to say it's Paris. Uh, yeah, Paris. Um, where they're getting ready for like the Olympics or something coming up, and they have this river called the Seine River, and the mayor was saying that the river is clean enough. In fact, it is so clean that he will go take a swim in the river to prove to everybody that it's clean, that they've been cleaning it for a while to get ready for the Olympics.
This
And the
is in
people,
Paris.
yeah, the people in Paris are saying, no, the hell it's not. And we're going to shit in this river. Why do you swim in it? They're saying they're waiting for him to show up and go swim so they can just shit in the river while he's swimming in it.
So there's going to be like lines of people.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. I don't know if that happened because I haven't. This is the article I have about it. It says why people are threatening to poo in Paris River Seine. Sunday was supposed to be the date Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo would swim in the Seine to prove the water was clean enough for Olympic athletes. And it says, was that Parisians, I'm guessing, have threatened to poo in the River Seine in a protest ahead of the Olympics. People angry at the expense of cleaning up the river have rallied under the hashtag J I'm not even gonna pronounce that.
Some French word.
Yeah, je dans la Seine le 23 juillet, which translates as, in quotation, "I shit in the Seine on 23rd June." End quote. Sunday was supposed to be the date Paris Mayor Anne Hidalgo would swim in the Seine to prove the water was clean enough for Olympic athletes, but she delayed the dip until after the French elections in July.
Are
President,
they
what?
are like the swimmers supposed to swim in the river?
Yes.
I don't know if I'd want to swim in that river,
especially
even
people,
before the poo.
especially people threatening to shit in it.
Are they just like protesting the Olympics?
I think they're protesting the fact that um, it has not, they haven't tried their hardest to clean the river, and they've been lying to the people saying that we've been trying to clean it, and it is clean enough, and people are like, it's not clean enough. So now they're threatening to shit in the water, I guess.
If it's a public, like, if it's near the public at any way, I don't think you could pay me to swim in that water, even before the poo.
Oh, it's in the public. Like, there's a picture. It's like, I don't know. I think it's outside the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that water ain't clean. No, nowhere close to clean.
But it says President Emmanuel Macron has also promised to swim in the Seine before the games, but has not said when. A website has been set up with the slogan, "They have plunged us into shit. It's their turn to plunge into our shit." The anonymous programmer behind the website told news outlet Actu Paris why people are angry. I guess is where we find out. Um, the problem is that all the resources that have been invested have not been to resolve all the social problems we have at the moment, he said. We have the feeling of being abandoned. We see where their priority was. It says more than 1.4. I don't know what currency they use, but it says it has been spent on trying to make the water safe enough to swim in, with triathlon and open water swimming events scheduled to take place in the river. A report published on Friday showed the water was still too dirty to swim in, just over 5 weeks out from the first triathlon event. Water samples showed high rates of two kinds of fecal bacteria, including E. coli, and did not meet the standards set for the games. Paris region prefect Marc Guillaume said. People are frustrated so much money has been invested in the cleanup operation when other social issues have been neglected. Aspects of the Olympics have proved controversial. Parisians face hiked transport costs during the games. Homeless encampments have been cleared, prompting accusations of France trying to hide poverty, and students have been moved to make way for Olympic workers. So will people actually stage their dirty protest?
So they found poo in the water before people pooed in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's what they're dealing with in Paris right now. That's what we got.
Do they not have like a? Why are they swimming in the? I don't understand why they're swimming in the river. Why are they? Why is it not like? Why don't they have like a pool or something like that? Like typically at the Olympics, isn't that what usually happens?
I don't know.
There's like a big pool that they swim in.
I have no
like
clue.
Indoors. That's clean and regulated.
You know, I like never watched the Olympics, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, why don't you just swim indoors? I wonder what the triathlon is. It's just like a long a long swim, kind of like a marathon, like where
Maybe that's why, because it's a
you're running for
triathlon.
miles. Maybe you're swimming for miles. So they have to do an open body of water. But that is gross. Finding
Yeah,
E. coli in the water, some fecal bacteria. I mean, you have to go way back when probably there was probably tons of horses shitting in that lake, shitting in that river. I mean,
that and
uh,
the homeless taking baths and caca and wee whiz.
we was in caca. But yep,
Just all in the water.
that's what Paris is dealing with right now. So that's that one.
Do you know when the uh, Olympics is taking place? I have no idea.
I think it's like really soon. Um, because it's the Summer Olympics. Uh, Friday, July 26th to Sunday, August 11th.
So end of the month. Yeah, I knew it was
Yep.
soon, but I didn't realize it was this month.
Um, I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, um, I gotta double check first before I sound like an idiot. Uh, oh yeah, so because you knew that they hosted the Winter Olympics here in Utah like years ago.
That was the last one.
No, I don't know where the last one was at, but I just know I know that the Park City hosted the Winter Olympics some years back. But I was just reading some. The International Olympic Committee extended an invitation to Salt Lake City to participate in the next phase of discussions regarding the potential host of the Winter Olympics. So they could be back here in however long.
Wonder if they'll do it in Park City again or somewhere
Yeah,
else.
I wouldn't be surprised if they branch out to like Salt Lake and stuff because they've been doing some crazy stuff out here. Like
In
the
in
in
Salt
Salt
Lake.
Lake, yeah. The jazz owner, he's like trying to build a sports empire right now. He bought a hockey team, NHL team.
Really?
Yeah,
Does Utah does Utah have a hockey team or not right now?
this year is going to be the first year that Utah has a professional hockey team.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
pretty
Utah
cool.
is a good place for
They
something like
uh,
that.
they as soon as they heard that the Arizona team was a poverty franchise, they said we'll buy them. So they sold them to the Jazz ownership group, and they used to be the Arizona Coyotes. Now it's the name sucks for this year because they're still trying to get the branding and stuff, but it's just the Utah Hockey Club this year. But
It's Utah
the
Hockey Club.
yeah, yeah, and then they're thinking that we all think they're going to be called the Yetis, the Utah Yetis,
That'd be pretty good.
or Utah Blizzard was another one. And then
Yeah.
the owner said he wants to move the Jazz to Draper.
I feel like I know where that is, but I don't
It's
remember
it's
exactly.
like you drive like a little bit past Lehigh. It's
Oh, I got you.
yeah, but they're they want to move the Jazz. They're like wanting to buy an MLB team or bring an MLB team here, and they're just trying to build a sports empire, I guess. But we won't get football because we got all these Mormons here.
I did see a graph today. Like there's like no MLB teams in like the Midwest. There's only like I
Yeah,
think there's one.
they I think it's the Rockies, Colorado Rockies.
I think you're right.
But
There's
I told everybody, I was like, I don't watch baseball or hockey, but now that we have a hockey team here and we could potentially get a baseball team, I'll probably watch those.
I've never really watched hockey, but I feel like it's one of those ones that
It looks
could be
fun.
interesting,
Yeah, it looks like fun.
especially all the
When
fighting.
when I was back home in Florida, the Panthers were in the the cup and they won it recently. I think Florida won their first Stanley Cup.
Is that our professional team? I don't even
Yep,
know.
Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, I believe, is the other team.
I feel like I've heard of the Lightning before. Do they have like black and yellow, or is it like blue and yellow
The I think
uh,
Tampa Bay's is blue and
jerseys?
white. I think just like solid blue and white, and the Panthers are red, navy blue, and like gold or yellow or whatever. But
Yeah, that'd be
anyways,
interesting. Uh, I got one more for you. Uh, this one's a little out there, uh,
okay.
to say the least. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Maharashtra boy goes in for leg surgery. All right, but that's not it. He goes in for leg surgery, comes out circumcised.
What kind of surgery?
Uh, leg surgery, but then I guess they threw in the circumcision for as a bonus.
His third leg.
It's Thane Maharashtra, the parents of a 9-year-old boy from Shahapur, Thane district, have complained to the police that doctors at a government-run hospital wrongly performed a surgery on his genitals instead of an injured leg. Okay, so they didn't even fix his leg.
Oh my gosh.
Following their allegation, a health official assured an inquiry into the episode, and the police said that they are carrying out an investigation. Well, I don't think you have to do much of an investigation.
Mm-mm.
Just look at the records. Like, the boy was here for a leg surgery. Why has he got a cast around his crotch?
And why would a family lie about that?
Uh, Parents said the boy suffered an injury on his leg while he was playing with his friends. Admitted to the sub-district hospital that he was undergoing treatment. The doctors recently performed a circumcision surgery on his private part instead of the injured leg. Later, after realizing their goof up, the doctors conducted a surgery on his injured leg. Soon after, uh, parents also filed a complaint with the police, although no case has been registered so far in this connection. Police officials said that a probe into the complaint was underway. Uh, the hospital told reporters that beside his leg injury, the boy also had a problem of phimosis. Tight foreskin. We had to carry out 2 operations, he said. As regards informing the parents about the second operation, he said the doctors might have forgotten to tell them, or they might have told the other relatives of the patient. What the doctors did was right, and there was nothing wrong in it, but the parents refused to accept the explanation given by the doctors. Well, he got a 2-for-1.
That's wild.
Yeah, you go in, you go under anesthesia. Man, I can't wait to get this leg fixed. And come back
You're gonna
afterwards.
come back to your penis snipped off.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in here for a little leg surgery. We'll fix you right up.
Wrong leg, wrong leg.
That's why I'd be scared traveling to other countries and having to go to the doctor. Because I don't know.
That happened in his own country. His own
Yeah.
doctors did that to him.
Yeah. All right. Is that all you got for that one?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Those are all the articles I got.
That's great. So these next 4 stories I have are all off of the holy grail of weird and funny news, The Onion, theonion.com. And the first one I have is called Uncle Gregg to attempt comeback at family barbecue.
What? Just some dude, someone's Uncle Gregg.
Yeah. Says Baton Rouge, Louisiana, announcing his controversial return to family life. Local resident Uncle Gregg told reporters Monday he'll attempt to make his long-awaited comeback during a family barbecue in a relative's backyard next month. Once
Wait.
a man...
Who was he telling he was making a comeback?
Reporters. It just says reporters.
Why is he getting in touch with the reporters? But man, my family has wronged me. They won't let me come to the barbecue, but this time I'm showing up unannounced.
It says once a mainstay of holiday get-togethers, the 39-year-old uncle has long been written off by those who said he could never recover from a decade of strained relationships, social gaffes, and several familial connections. And his quote was, "It's official. I'm back," end quotation. Said Uncle Gregg. Yeah. Outlining plans to attend his first major family function in nearly 3 years. He continued to say, "All my hard work the past few months has been leading up to this. Holding down a job, easing up on the booze a bit, getting myself a decent haircut, and at 12:30 p.m. on Saturday, August 7th, all the naysayers will be silenced when they see the new Uncle Gregg in top form," end quotation.
What?
According to the 3-time college dropout, the upcoming barbecue is ideal for staging his return, partly because it will take place on friendly turf with Cousin Dan, one of the few relations who stood by him through every slump, serving as host. The gathering is also expected to be pretty low-key since it falls during a lull in the family's summertime schedule. A month after the big reunion on July 4th, but weeks before the special Labor Day celebration planned for Grandpa Jim and Grandma Jones' 60th anniversary. Obviously, I'd be stupid to try and pull this off during a First Communion or a Thanksgiving dinner or something, Uncle Gregg said. But I figure at Dan's place, I could just walk in, ask him if he needs any help with the grill, and when he says no, stake out a neutral spot for myself at one of the picnic tables.
Sounds like Greg needs another 3 years before he comes back.
Yeah. Plus, Shelley and Rod will be out of town, he continued, so that should be a big help. Though he wouldn't disclose his
Can't
entire...
trust Shelley.
Yeah. Sorry, Mama Ape has been messaging me.
No worries.
So it says, though he wouldn't disclose his entire strategy, Gregg did reveal that he plans to drink only 1 or 2 beers tops, avoid the topic of politics altogether, and smile and remain polite to Cheryl, no matter how big of a bitch she might be.
It sounds like he's not just limited himself to 1 or 2 drinks.
Yeah. While
He already might have been on a bender talking to the reporters.
Yeah. While his performance the past few years has been spotty, Uncle Gregg enjoyed a long stint of popularity during his mid-20s. when his practice of sitting at the kids' table and teaching Dave and Linda's dog, Frisky, to drink Pepsi earned him the title of favorite uncle. Sources, why is this article so long? Sources agree that Uncle Gregg peaked in 1999 and that a long string of ugly incidents since then, including Aunt Margaret's birthday party, during which he made an uncomfortable joke about her spinsterhood.
Why do they have so much info on this family?
I have no idea. And the picnic at the lake, to which he brought his best friend Bobby, who kept hitting on his 16-year-old niece, has all but cemented his role as the family's black sheep.
Yeah, it sounds like Bobby needs to be the one excommunicated.
Yeah. He's really giving it his all, said Uncle Gregg's wife, Jeannie, who believes this comeback will be a success despite the failure of a similar attempt a few Thanksgivings ago. This time, he's serious, and I can tell he's trying extra hard because he asked me to buy him a new t-shirt for the occasion and to make a pan of my chocolate chip bread pudding so he can walk in carrying something, added Jeannie. He even told me he wasn't going to challenge anyone to an arm wrestling match the whole time.
This is Gregg they're talking about?
Yeah.
Did the reporters go to the gathering? Like, how do they have first-hand accounts?
Many relatives remain skeptical of Uncle Gregg's ability to recapture his former glory. Sister-in-law Cheryl went so far as to doubt the sincerity of the entire project. What is this, comeback number 7? Cheryl said. Gregg tries to pull this shit whenever he needs money and realizes no one is going to give him any if he keeps acting like an ass. His best bet is to make a fresh start with the nieces and nephews who are too young to remember the guy who ruined Christmas with a goddamn DWI twice.
Twice?
Damn, Cheryl?
Laying into Gregg.
Yeah. Uncle Gregg told reporters he preferred to keep a positive outlook because this is family and you have to let bygones be bygones, even though brother-in-law Michael will probably never let you dog sit again. Gregg...
What did you do with the dog?
Yeah. Gregg also confirmed he was memorizing the names of those who weren't born the last time he attended a family gathering or who packed a shit ton of weight recently, like Aunt Roberta. This family needs me, and I'm going to make them realize that once and for all, Uncle Gregg said, this barbecue is going to change everything. And then I think the last thing it says is, especially after I tell Mom and Dad about crashing their truck over the weekend, he added.
He crashed their truck?
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
This man looks like a live-action version of Homer Simpson.
You got a picture of him?
Yeah.
Is this in the U.S.?
Pretty sure it's a fake story, but this is the man.
The goatee and mustache combo really seals it.
Yep, it does. There's the story of Uncle Gregg making his comeback. I'm rooting for you.
Well, hope his family or his parents don't get too upset about the wrecked truck. I'm feeling
the next story I have
can do it.
Yeah, he could do it. Have you ever heard of Hims?
Yeah, the hair loss.
It's like I don't know if it's hair loss or if they just like make stuff for guys. They also have like a Hers. They make stuff for women and men.
Yeah.
But this article says Hims now selling bags of chips for depressed, impotent losers who are also hungry.
What?
They have a little paragraph here. It says, San Francisco, in an effort to better cater to its targeted market, Telehealth company Hims has reportedly begun selling bags of chips for depressed, impotent losers who are also hungry. Experiencing anxiety, ED, a rumble in your tummy? Hims can help, says a voiceover in the company's latest ad, which touts the subscription only product as the perfect savory snack for men who are fundamentally less than, no doctor's visit required, and the packaging is discreet. You have to order all this stuff just to get hard and produce enough brain chemicals not to kill yourself.
Okay.
So you might as well get a little treat while you're at it. They're kettle style. At press time, the company added that the chips were not covered by health insurance. So there you go. Hims chips.
Just don't eat the whole bag. You might have to go to the doctor if it's been 3 or 4 hours.
It's not covered by health insurance either.
We're not covering your kettle chips.
Not at all. They just want them to die. The next story I have here is a basketball player credits Kobe Bryant for inspiring him to score 4 points in rec league game.
What? And like a pickup basketball game?
Yeah.
This one's for Kobe.
This is him right here. Reno, Nevada. Pointing up at the sky as he landed a bank shot. Local basketball player Alan Jennings.
I was about to say, it's a white guy. It's a white guy.
It's a white guy.
He said Nevada. It's like, this guy's white.
He credited Kobe Bryant for inspiring him to score a career-high 4 points in his rec league game Thursday night. He quoted, "Kobe's dedication taught me that amazing things happen when you just get out there and play for the love of the game," end quote, said the 28-year-old account executive who went 2 for 12 in his team's.
Just like Uncle Gregg, he peaked in 1999.
Yeah, that's right. I was not expecting the 2 for 12. In his team's 48-12 loss in St. Viator Elementary School gymnasium.
Oh my gosh.
He quotes, "There were times after my 7th or 8th brick when I thought I should just give up, but then I remember that Kobe said, enjoy the road, especially when it's a hard one. And also that Jim couldn't make it tonight, so there was no one else to sub in. For real, though, I never would have gotten the game tonight if it weren't for the Black Mamba. His drive convinced me to play despite leaving my basketball shorts at home." At press time, Jennings expressed concern that he'd suffered a career-ending injury after sleeping weird.
What? He also said he left his basketball shorts. Was he playing in like slacks?
I have no idea.
It's the mobility.
He's an account executive. I bet he's wearing khakis.
Sliding around the court in dress shoes.
Yeah.
Tip-tapping his way to the goal.
Yeah. Last story I have for the funny news of the day is we have Austin Butler unable to stop making revving sounds after starring in the film The Bike Riders.
They just can't leave this dude alone.
The thing that's funny about this is I remember people getting so pissed at him after filming Elvis, and they were like, "You need to stop
doing the voice."
Yeah. He's in a biker movie and he can't stop making revving sounds. Vroom, 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 vroom. Hey, I'm Austin Butler. Vroom, vroom. So, oh, this is going to make me laugh. Los Angeles showing off his new accent Friday during the press tour for the film. Austin Butler has reportedly been able to stop making revving noises since starring in the Bike Riders. I can't with this. I can't with this next line. In quotation, broom, 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 said the 32-year-old Hollywood actor.
Broom, broom.
Whose speech was inflected with a rumbling sound noticeably absent in that of co-stars Jodie Comer and Tom Hardy. Oh, vroom vroom, yeah, brap at press time. Sources confirmed an upset Butler had frantically begun making backfiring noises after an interviewer suggested the accent was a put on. Oh man, that's great.
So who is this guy?
Yeah.
Who brought him? He's just in the
Oh
corner
shit!
making motorcycle noises.
I lost that as soon as I saw the quotation marks with the broom broom broom. Oh man, time to get serious now. Got the funny news out of the way. Whew. So last week you had the topic for the day, and this week I do, and I've got a story that I heard on a podcast. It's pretty weird. Um, it's pretty popular within like conspiracies and stuff, but it's called the Yuba County Five, and I'll just dive right into it. I'm getting this from ABC.net. I think it's Australia. I don't know why it's Australia, because this happened in California, I believe. But it says it was a cold February night in 1978 when a car carrying 5 men made its way up into the snow-covered mountains of California. After months of searching, 4 bodies would be found, one having apparently starved to death after weeks inside a remote cabin. One of the men would never be seen again. Almost half a century later, investigators, relatives, and armchair detectives remain searching for answers. What happened to the Yuba County Five? And then, but yeah, that's pretty much the premise.
So
Five people disappeared. 4 bodies were found. One still missing to this day.
where were they at? Like, were they just driving like in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah, I think I'll get into it. I think I remember how it led up to it. They were on their way to a college basketball game, or they were on their way back from a college basketball game, and somehow they ended up in a mountain, like on this road in this mountain, and it was snowy, and I think if I remember, I think the car got stuck. I guess they couldn't get the car out.
I think they
But
were headed to that Nevada pickup game.
they were going to the elementary school. Watch that boy Alan Jennings score 4 points.
Just doing it for Kobe.
Kobe. So this says just nice, friendly boys who didn't come home. They had been at a basketball game. Okay, so they did go to the basketball game. Less than 100 kilometers. Why do you have to use kilometers? Because
Australia.
we don't use that shit here. Away from their homes. 4 of the group had some form of learning disability. The 5th, Gary Matthias, was being treated for paranoid schizophrenia. Together, they bowled, they went to dances, they had formed a basketball team. They love sports. Where's Alan Jennings?
He was the 5th one,
Yep.
the one that went missing.
I guess so. When they got together, it was usually to either watch a game or play one. They were just nice, friendly boys who went to the games together and went home. One of their mothers told the Los Angeles Times in 1978. So here we have the 5 victims. We've got Jack Madruga, and about him it says Jack Madruga, nicknamed Doc, was 30 years old and had served in Vietnam in 1968. His family said he used money from his military service to buy the car that drove the group up into the mountains, a Mercury Sports coupe. There was no reason to go up there, his mother, Melba, told media, describing her son as her standby. It was a bad road. He wouldn't drive his car up the bad road. He respected it. They were supposed to play basketball the next morning at 8 a.m. He had his clothes laid out on the bed. Bill Sterling's sister Debbie told the Hanford Sentinel Madruga had once refused to take Jack Hewitt home, fearing the road would damage the car. He made him call his parents to come and get him. So that's a little bit about Jack Madruga. The next guy
that owned the car.
Yeah, that's the guy who bought the car and was driving him.
So when did this take place? Do you have the what year it happened?
I think it's 78.
Okay.
Yeah, 1978. The next guy we have, his name is Bill Sterling. Bill Sterling, 29, loved to read and spent a lot of time at the library doing research about mentally handicapped people. According to his sisters, Deanna and Debbie, he was, according to the Washington Post, deeply religious and wanted to bring Jesus to patients in psychiatric hospitals. He had been camping with his family as a boy but hadn't liked it. Bill didn't like the snow, Debbie told media. They knew that it was cold up there. So that's our second guy, Bill. Our third person is Ted Weir, I think is how you pronounce it. 32, lived with his mother, Imogen. I have no idea. Worked alongside Jack Hewitt at a job they had both gotten through a community group for the disabled. He was a very loving person, his mother said, according to the Hanford Sentinel. The night he disappeared, he had all his clothes laid on his bed to play basketball in a tournament the next morning. He had asked his mother to wash his new white shoes in time for the game. His sister Dorothy told media his was the kind of problem where he couldn't understand why when he waved at people and they didn't wave back.
So it sounds like they just let a bunch of these mentally ill dudes just go on a road trip to the middle of nowhere.
That's what I'm trying to understand. This guy I'm a little skeptical about. Okay, he's got his picture is him in military clothes. It's a military picture, like in front of the flag and stuff. This is why it's a little weird to me.
It better not be Uncle Gregg.
Yeah. Gary Mathias, 25, had joined the group a few months before they disappeared. He had been discharged from the Army, and according to missing persons nonprofit, the DOE network, had been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. His stepfather, Robert Klopp, had given him a job at his gardening business, and he had been consistently taking his medication for some time before the disappearance, according to the Sacramento Bee. So,
yeah, be kind of sketchy of that.
It's a little sketchy, especially since they found 4 bodies and then find the other one.
Is he the one they didn't find?
I don't know. I want to say I think so. But the last person that we have is Jackie Hewitt was the youngest of the group, just 24 years old. He lived on a farm with his family, reported United Press International's Carrick Levitt in 1978. He had a beagle named Bo and a 90cc motorbike. His mother, Sarah, told his mother, Sarah, told media he was a delight who was inseparable from his best friend, Ted Weir. He was just slow but real happy, she said. Ted always took care of Jackie. So those are the 5. That's the the group of 5 that we got. So,
Has there been anything else come out about it, or like what are some of like the conspiracies surrounding it that you know?
so whenever I listened to the conspiracy about it, it was people saying like that one of the groups just like killed them. They just went crazy and killed them. Another person suggested that they were just murdered by somebody up there. Another person suggested that the one that wasn't found resorted to cannibalism or something. And then there's a few other things like UFOs and whatnot. But it's
And
like
then
kind
yeah,
of
the
from what I remember it being weird because there was a cabin that because it's talked about one of the people being found in a cabin, and I'm pretty sure there was food in the cabin if I'm not mistaken. From when I listened to the podcast, they were like there was food in there,
so they were
and
found in like different locations,
he didn't eat the food
like
if I remember.
the people they were found in different locations.
I think so.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
And so this story reminds me of I've told you about it a few times the Dyatlov Pass incident in Russia. Those
Uh,
nine Russian hikers who just didn't come back to camp, and so they sent a search party up there, and their bodies were scattered across the camp on a mountain, and the tents were cut open from the inside out, like they were trying to get out in a hurry. None of them had soft tissue damage. There was people there was somebody that was missing an eyeball. Another person that had their tongue like surgically removed. It's like
what in the
crazy
world?
stuff. Yeah, it's like crazy stuff.
It was the Utah Yetis.
Yeah, that's what people. That's a conspiracy. They say that Yeti's got them. Or a thing that I like to say is that they ran into the Soviet Union and they whacked them. They weren't supposed to
They
see
were near
anything.
the military base.
That's what I think. I don't know, but
Yeah, that is weird that they they found them in different locations. Was there? Did they
yeah,
find the car?
yeah. I think they found the car.
Was it damaged at all, or was it fine?
Um, I think it actually explains it. Uh, yeah, once I get down here, it talks about the abandoned car and and the half conscious witness. So
Was a witness?
yeah. So let's see. We have the title for the next paragraph. It says, "Have you heard anything?" Um, oh, I gotta pop in 2 6 milli vanilla gum pillies in my mouth real quick. All right. The basketball game at California State University in Chico ended just before 10 p.m. on February 24th, a Friday night. The group of 5 climbed back into Jack Madruga's Mercury to drive to their homes in nearby Yuba City and Marysville. A worker at Bears Market, a small shop close to the university campus, said she saw them stop for snacks, telling the Sacramento Bee they seemed excited and happy. From Chico to their homes, it was a distance of around, okay, once again, I don't know kilometers. So somebody help me. Help us. 78 kilometers at most. But instead of arriving home, police say they turned off the motorway and headed up into a mountain road. Then they vanished. It would be several hours before their mothers, some walking to find beds empty, others like Juanita Sterling, who the Post said had sat awake since 2 a.m., began to raise the alarm. Tom Hewitt, Jack Hewitt's brother, got a call from his mother, he told author Tony Wright, who penned a 2024 book about the case. She asked, "Have you seen your brother? Have you heard anything?" And I'm like, "No, why?" he said. And I remember her saying, They didn't come home from the game last night. He said relatives were left frustrated when they contacted police. They said they were all over 18, so you can't really report them missing until a certain time. Do you have anything to add on that?
So you said she doesn't remember seeing anything? The witness?
Yeah, just that they seemed happy, and were they just seemed happy before they left.
Oh, that's weird. Only thing I can think of is like,
Ooh, I do remember hearing something about in that the podcast I listened to a while back. I remember them saying something about a red truck. Something about a
I
red
was
truck.
thinking like if they went up the mountain and like just decided to take a detour, and like they ran into somebody up there who
Yeah.
was just out of their mind.
The weird thing though is that the mom of was it Jack Madruga said that he didn't want to go up like any bad roads, and yet he's going up like a snowy mountain road in his new car. It just seems weird. But
Yeah, that is pretty weird, especially if they found them kind of scattered like that, and the
yeah,
one just never turned up.
um, so now this is where we get into the abandoned car and the half conscious witness. Um, a police report was filed with the Yuba County Sheriff's Department on Saturday night. The car was first spotted by a forestry worker on Saturday morning, according to the Sacramento Bee, but wasn't reported until Tuesday. A missing persons bulletin released by the Yuba County Sheriff's Office said it was found in the Plumas National Forest just beyond the snow line. It was sitting in a snowbank just off a dirt road, according to the Washington Post, around, once again, 112 kilometers from Chico. Enough. What the fuck is a kilometer? The keys were gone. It had not run out of fuel, and there were maps folded in the glove compartment. One man, Joseph Shones, told police he had driven the same road that night and gotten stuck around 45 meters behind where the Mercury would later be found. While trying to free his car, according to the Washington Post, he said he suffered a heart attack and laid down in the back of his car. He reported seeing a group of people, flashlight beams, and car headlights from a pickup at different times over the following hours. But his story, according to the media reports at the time, changed several times in the weeks after he first came forward. I was half conscious, not lucid, hallucinating, and in deep pain, he told the Los Angeles Times in March 1978. Whether I half saw or half imagined the second vehicle, I just don't know.
Well, I would think, like, yeah, his times would probably be kind of scattered, but I don't know if I feel like the lights would be kind of hard to imagine, especially if he's up there in a mountain by himself.
Unless he's dying from a heart attack.
Yeah.
You see the light at the end of the tunnel.
So the one cabin that they found, is that where those guys were headed, or was that just somebody else's cabin?
I think one of the people in their group found the cabin. I think.
Might have been the person in the truck's cabin, or
Right?
they just knew
That's it.
about it.
Yeah. It would not be until the snow thawed that the police began to get some answers. On June 4th, wrote UPI, a motorcyclist passed by a Forest Service trailer in a mountain campground and noticed a broken window. Inside was the body of Ted Weir. And then, let's see, maybe I can. Holy.
So did they
What?
like autopsy the bodies? Like,
Oh, you got to see this. Here, So it's going to show you where Yuba is, and it'll show you where they found the cabin.
It sounded like they were pretty far.
Yuba City.
Holy cow.
The cabin is all the way up here. How the hell does that make sense?
Yeah, they're like out in the middle of nowhere.
How can you travel that far?
Yeah, that's like secluded.
Chico cabin, Yuba City, or maybe it was maybe they got lost somewhere over here and ended up over here.
So
I don't know.
did they autopsy the bodies? Do you know?
I think so. I think
You
it
know, like
gets
injuries or anything they had?
um
To like,
yes it I'll yeah I'll it's I'll have the details here. Um um According to the Washington Post, he was tucked beneath multiple blankets, his feet badly frostbitten. His shoes were off and missing when we found him, Deputy Sheriff Dennis Forcino told UPI. A police report said Ware, who had been clean shaven in February, had grown a full beard, which added to speculation he had survived for at least several weeks in the trailer. Um, Inside the trailer were matches and wood furniture, but no fire had been lit. Ration cans from a storage shed had been eaten, but a locker with more food hadn't been opened. A propane tank had also not been touched, Yuba County Police Officer Lance Ayers told the Washington Post. All they had to do was turn that gas on, Officer Ayers said, and they'd have had gas to the trailer and heat. The remains of Bill Sterling and Jack Madruga were found on June 6th, around 18 kilometers from where the car was left and northeast of the trailer.
18 kilometers.
Yeah, I gotta look
That's
this up.
that's pretty far.
Um, yeah, 11 miles.
Yeah, that's pretty far to do in the dark.
Yeah. Um, Bill Sterling's father was the second person on the scene, according to UPI, when his son's body was found and a few feet from the road. He was presented with his son's wallet containing his social security number and photos of his twin sisters. Um, Jackie Hewitt's remains were found by his father. A June 7th police report said he had located his son's watch, clothes, shoes, and wallet. A few days later, his skull was found less than 100 meters away. No trace of Gary Mathias has ever been found. So, that means, yeah, the guy who hasn't been found is the guy who was discharged.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's weird.
it's way weird.
And he was like the ex-military guys, and I would think that he would at least have some kind of survival training.
Yeah. So, and I remember them speculating like the pickup truck, saying that they could have kidnapped Matthias, but I don't know.
Or he was working with them.
Yeah, or that.
I don't know, that
Oh,
is weird.
it is way weird. Over the ensuing decades, the case has become the subject of multiple podcasts, books, and documentaries. The families believe the group's disabilities meant there was less interest in finding them. Jack Hewitt's sister-in-law said in a 2023 interview. After they disappeared, his father Jack asked them to check those cabins, Claudia Hewitt said. One person told them they couldn't get to them, it was too dangerous, and someone else said they had recently been checked and there was no way they could make it that far. But Jack said to me on numerous occasions he wished he just went up there himself because then his son would still be alive. Investigators at the time speculated the group had become lost in the snow and suffered from around the corner syndrome due to snow vehicle tracks in the snow from days prior. They may have thought the tracks have to go somewhere just around the corner, Officer Ayers told UPI. Other detectives said they may have just got tired and wanted to lay down, but the families insisted they would have either stayed in the car to keep warm or walked downhill where there was a mountain lodge. Melville Madruga said, "I'm positive he never went up there on his own. He was either tricked or threatened." A Yuba County Sheriff's Department letter dated mid-October 2020 made public via a records request in October 23 ruled Gary Mathias is believed to be a victim of foul play. This case remains open as a missing person/homicide case, Sheriff Coroner Wendell Anderson wrote.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yep. So that's crazy
Especially-
that they're rolling it as a part homicide, too.
And especially, like, it's been this long, too, and they still have, like, no leads on the other guy.
Yeah.
Or, like, anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff don't add up for that one.
Nope. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. But, yeah, that's the Yuba County 5 and their fates that we don't exactly know about.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I hadn't heard that one before.
Yeah, and I'll have to do the deal off pass incident on another week because that one's even crazier. I think just wild.
With that. I'll try and find some more conspiracies.
Yeah.
For our next one.
Yeah, I think we made perfect time again today. So.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. That's it for this week, and we'll see you next. And to our Russian listener, we're coming for you with the Dietloff Pass incident.
Thank you, Reshi.
Mother Russia is watching us, so thank you, and keep tuned in to us on YouTube and Spotify, and find us on Instagram and TikTok at Apes Escape, or TikTok, the Ape Network, Instagram, also the Ape Network. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Later.